another season of Today with Ray. I'm your host, Rhema T, and this is the show that highlights everyday entrepreneurs here in Wilmington and the surrounding areas. If you're new to the journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll be the first one to know when new episodes come out and to support these local businesses. This week, I'm here with my guest, Aurielle Bryan from Heir Media. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm super excited this week because, again, she's in the media field, I'm in the media field, and I don't really get the chance to talk to many people in that field. So we're going to open up this interview. How was your holidays?
Busy.
Good. Yeah. We were talking off camera, and I was telling her, I was like, hey, just can't catch a break. And she was like, I took off. So she's recharged for this interview. Aurielle, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
So I am the executive director at Heir Media, which is a branding and media production company. Pretty much what we do is we took what a branding agency would do or a digital agency, and we combine that with film production so that people who come in and want to use our services can just have a one-stop shop. They can get their logos designed, they can get video work, whether that's just brand films or whether they're commercials or things that need to go actually onto traditional broadcast media, or they need websites done. We just kind of do the whole gambit of that, and we also have a slew of partners that we work with too. So if things get a little hectic for us, we also bring our partners in to make sure that our clients can get the quality that they deserve.
Wow. Sounds like a one-stop shop.
It is.
Literally. So you said you're the executive director.
Yes.
But I do know that this is like a family business for you.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about how you guys got started in the business and how it is with each person kind of playing their part.
Yeah, so we started back in 2013 in Maryland because we're transplants to the Wilmington area. Been about 2 years now. And we started as a publishing and film company.
Okay.
My mom started the company because she'd always wanted to do publishing work, and we started getting clients that we knew in the area. And slowly the clients started coming back needing other things, like, hey, I need a commercial for my book, or a trailer, or hey, can you make a website for us? And so our services started kind of evolving over the course of the years. And then we picked up shop. And then we moved down here, and we're starting all over again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing right off the bat. We're doing everything, full service, when clients come to us. Yep.
Yeah. And I find it so interesting. A lot of the people that's been on the show have actually been transplants. It's like a unicorn when you find someone that's actually here from Wilmington. Talk to us about the move itself. So it kind of sounded like you guys were an established business in Maryland.
Yes.
How was that, having to pick everything up, kind of like, I don't want to say lose the clients that you had in Maryland, but that journey of moving to a completely different city and state and have to kind of like build your business back up?
It was hectic.
Yeah.
Exceptionally hectic. For about a year, my brothers and I moved down first, and we were going up every week.
Oh, wow.
Up 95.
Oh, wow.
For those of you who don't know, that's like a 6-hour drive.
Yeah, that's a lot of travel.
Every week.
Yeah.
And then we would be here on the weekends.
Oh, wow.
And we were doing that for a good 6 to 8 months. And then finally my parents came down, and then we found an actual physical location here.
Okay.
And then we started building that up and moving things that needed to go in there. And then we officially were like full-time here by August of, I want to say 22. So it was hectic.
Yeah.
Exceptionally hectic. And then, of course, the legal stuff that you have to go through is opening up in this state and then closing the one from Maryland. And, yeah, it was a lot. But luckily, our family is exceptionally close. So people kind of pick up where other people are slacking in.
Yeah.
And nobody was complaining because everybody was like, we got to get out of here. So we were down here in Wilmington, and we've loved it ever since we've been down here.
Nice. So I have to ask, have you seen a difference in like companies or industries from Maryland to North Carolina that are reaching out to you? Or is it about the same?
So there are some similarities, but being down here, we've gotten a lot more solopreneurs who are like, look, I have got to get out of this job. I have this business that I've kind of been doing for the last 8 years. I've got some capital saved up, but like I need to go full in on that.
Right.
So we've been getting a lot of them. because of the partners that we're working with who are doing a lot of marketing and stuff, we've been getting access to other more established clients.
Yeah.
So we've been able to start tapping into some medium-sized businesses as well, which has been fantastic.
Absolutely.
Because then you can actually help smaller solopreneurs when you actually have bigger businesses that are kind of paying your bills daily, right?
Yeah.
So I think the clients down here, though, have been way more willing to learn and listen as to why they need branding.
Okay.
And understanding that it's not like we're trying to gyp you, but we're trying to make it so that you're an established brand and can compete on a national playing field.
Right.
And while that is a bit of a learning curve for down here, I think it's been worthwhile when people understand, like, oh, you're trying to help me grow my business.
Yeah.
In Maryland, that wasn't necessarily the case. It's exceptionally competitive. We were located right in the middle of, like, Baltimore and D.C.
Oh, wow.
So there's about 6 million people in that. Exceptionally competitive. Some people understood the need for branding, but it's very different, the mentality. In that area, and down here, it's been kind of rewarding trying to help people bring their brands up to the level that they've always dreamed of having their brands at. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And what I do know is that Wilmington is becoming almost like a super mega hub for entrepreneurs. So when you think about the art of branding, because it really is an art. Most people think it's like, oh, it's a headshot and
or just the logo.
Right. And it's really so much more than that. How have you seen the role of branding and networking kind of play into each other?
Yeah, so networking, you always hear the phrase that you're only as good as your network, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's important, especially if people are looking to get into business, is to find networking events. Not like you have to go to every single one, but you need to find ones that will matter for your business. That's going to help, especially when you're doing services like us, which is branding. And since the world has become way more global, it's exceptionally important to make sure your brand stands out, is talking to the audience that you want it to talk to, and is positioned correctly. And I think that small businesses can utilize those services as well.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily have to just be multinational, corporations who are so good at branding. Like, everybody knows Coke, everybody knows Pepsi, the jingles for certain things. But you can do that on a much smaller scale as well. And I think it's important to take those ideas of that you would see in branding. So what is the core of your business? And what does that look like? What does that sound like? How do your customers interact with that? And take that into your networking events.
Yeah.
So whether that's a business card you're handing out, whether that's how you're talking to people you're networking to, whether that's the shirts you're wearing at a networking event, I think all of these kind of overlap. And then it also will add to people remembering your brand.
Right.
Because there's nothing like having, do you remember like street teams people used to have? There's nothing like having that. And going to a networking event is kind of like formulating your own street team. Because as we've seen down here, the more that we've gone to these events, the more people have like known who we are and understood where we're coming from. They recommend you to other people.
Absolutely.
And it's not necessarily that you have to sell to the person you're talking to, but you have to make them understand what you do. And that way they might go to their network and have a really killer like deal come through for you at the perfect time.
At the perfect time. It's actually funny because I met the Bryans, it's her and her two brothers, at networking events. And what I would recommend, especially people here in Wilmington is large but small at the same time. So when you're thinking about branding yourself, sometimes the world it's social as far as digital platforms, but there's a different intimacy when you brand yourself in person and really get to share your story and how you come across and your purpose of why you're doing your business. Like Aurielle said, sometimes it's the T-shirt or the business card, but really there's something different when you get to talk to someone face to face versus, Instagram, which is just as important, which leads me to my next question. In your field, how have you seen digital marketing kind of transcend past the personal in-person branding?
Yeah. I would say that I've seen digital marketing do some really good stuff to keep you top of mind, but usually where they do the best is when there is some kind of human follow-up.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think no matter how digital the future gets, people are always going to look for human connection. And I think that shouldn't be something that businesses forget when they're going about their marketing strategies or how they want to position their brands. I think the best ones always have some element of human to it. You'll see brands, even like Apple. I don't know if you've seen their environmental climate report. They did a video, and it was about Mother Nature, but they made her human. It was Octavia Spencer who was Mother Nature in it. But the way they're doing it isn't just you're reading data. It's look at this video, media, the digital side, but look how we made it human and how it affects everyone else.
Yeah.
You'll see that. I think out-of-home advertisements, things that you'll see in your daily life, that's probably going to have some level of increase going forward. But there's going to be things that have to be tangible. It's either going to have to be human to human, or people are going to have to interact more with the marketing strategies.
Yeah, no, I definitely relate to that, especially, again, even right here in this digital platform right here, a lot of people are like, well, why don't you just do Zoom meetings so you can expand and try to make that global thing? And I always have to level them down and say, that's cool and all, and that's, that's for some people, but my whole thing was really getting that interpersonal connection with people and really having them sit down and getting the chance to, radiate and feel their passion when they're talking about their business. And there's just something that is missing when it's not there in their branding, when it's just digitally. So I think that's important that you mentioned that, and I think that's a good takeaway for the people that's watching this episode, that when you're looking at branding yourself, that yes, digital media is important, but there's also something highly valuable in the tangible sense of everything. With that being said, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back right afterwards, and we're going to get to know Aurielle just a little bit deeper than just the business. So stick around. We'll be right back. Hey guys, it's me, Rhema T. Have you been loving the content from Today with Ray? Well, while I'm working on season 4, make sure you head to the YouTube page and watch all the previous seasons. There's so many gems, so many inspiring stories, so make sure you head there. Oh, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Hey guys, welcome back. We are talking to Aurielle Bryan from Heir Media. The first half of this interview has been incredibly valuable when we're talking about the sense of branding, and we talked about the digital side of everything, but still having the human touch. So as we talk about having the human touch, I wanted to get to know you a little bit better. So it's you and your brothers and mom that's in this business, right?
My dad is a part of it as well, but my mom runs the books for the most part. And then my dad will come on for consulting work that we have. But my brothers and I are the ones you'll see in the office day to day. Yeah.
How is that, you mentioned that you guys are close-knit. How is that working with your siblings and parents on a daily basis?
I think I got pretty lucky because we're all exceptionally close, and we grew up very close. My parents were very much the type that were, these are the people in your corner as we were growing up, and I think that has evolved as we've gotten older. So, the first people I go to if I want to go on a trip are, my brothers. And then we'll just go ahead and have fun like that. So I think that has translated a bit into working with them as well, because we're very honest with each other. So even if we're upset, we'll be fine in, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's fine for business, because then I can be like, hey, this needs to get done. Okay. It wasn't done. And then it'll get done. we might be upset for like 5 minutes
Yeah.
and then we're good after that, right? So I think I got super lucky that nobody is somebody that holds a grudge.
No, that's
and is okay with being honest.
I was going to say that's incredibly special because not all siblings can say that. And one of the things that we were talking about off camera, again, in the sense of networking, is how they divide and conquer.
Yes.
Because here in Wilmington, it seems like Wednesdays are just like the networking day. So tell us a little bit about how each of your roles play into the bigger sense of your business.
So both my brothers are younger. But the one that's directly under me, he does a lot of the operational day-to-day stuff. So he's generally in the office. And then he'll have his chamber event every other week. And then the youngest one, which is the one that most people know in Wilmington, he's in B&I, and he's generally the person that we send out to most of the networking events because he's a good talker.
Yeah.
And then I have my groups that I do. So I'm part of WIN, the Women in Networking group. And then we all do PCYP, and we go to like Biz Journal events as well. So I'm kind of the person steering the ship. And then my mother's the president and my dad is the vice president. But they're not in the office every day.
Right.
Yeah.
As they should. They've done enough.
Yes.
So outside of business, you kind of mentioned that you like to travel.
I do.
Are there any travel plans for you in 2024?
I'm in the process of making plans.
Yeah?
I am going to go see a friend of mine because I studied abroad in college.
Okay.
And she's from Australia, but she's in Miami. She's living in Miami now, so I'm going to go see her.
Nice.
And I haven't seen her in a while.
Oh,
she's
that's
a really
gonna
good
be
friend
so
of mine,
nice.
so I'm really excited about that. And then I hope I can do another like really big trip this year because I haven't gone since 2020.
Yeah. So you just said that you studied abroad. Where did you study at?
In Australia.
Really?
Yes, on the sunny coast.
Oh my gosh, I've never been. Hopefully
It's
I can make
so
it out there.
beautiful.
I do have a question though. Is it really as bad like with the bugs and the critters and the spider?
I get that a lot. So it can be, depending on where you are. But where I was, it wasn't horrific, like not just in my house or anything like that. Like generally that's the case. If you have a lot of trees around your house, I'd be careful because snakes do like to climb up into the tree. But I didn't really run into anything too crazy.
Okay.
I did see a kangaroo.
Really?
I saw a few of them.
Yeah.
Because the campus that I was studying abroad at, there's like a nature reserve.
Oh.
And the campus is right in the middle of it. So it was gorgeous. But when it's dusk and I'm walking home and I hear a rustle in the reeds as I'm crossing a bridge, and then I stop and I see a kangaroo just come out of the reeds, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Winnie the Pooh did not prepare me for this.
Winnie the Pooh.
I literally called my mom afterwards.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, is this the right time? Okay, Mom.
Yeah.
This is bigger than I thought. It's like this 6 foot tall creature. And I was like, this is not what Kanga and Rue prepared me for.
Right. Oh my gosh. I would have been so fit because I would have just been running.
Well, I'd like
everywhere.
stop because I was like, that's crazy. Oh my God.
It makes me think of what's the other movie, Kangaroo Jack. Oh my gosh. So any videos that I ever see, like kangaroos really are they like muscular and they look like, you know, a 6'4" dude that's just been in the gym.
And he literally came out the bushes like that. And I was like, oh my. And he just like stared at me. And so we're staring at each other. I'm like, do I run? Like,
right. Like,
and the Australians are just passing me like, just keep walking. I'm like, well, this is wild.
Yeah, this.
But I guess
legitimately wild. This is a wild.
Because maybe they feel the same way about like some of the deer and antelope we have.
Okay.
But it's still wild.
Yeah. It's not the same people.
It's not. Or like a huntsman spider.
Oh
like
no.
I didn't touch it. I let my Australian roommate get rid of that.
Oh, good.
I was like, I'm not.
I would have just had to burn the place down and
I wanted to.
Oh, there you go.
I literally said, I think that's it. That's it.
So how is the food? Is it like how different is it than in America?
When I went,
Yeah.
it was like 2012. So it's been a bit. and there were certain things that just like didn't taste the same.
Okay.
Just junk food though.
Yeah.
So things that you crave when you don't really eat them here, but you want them when you go abroad. So like Doritos weren't cheesy. Not really that cheesy at all. Oreos didn't taste the same for me, so I would have my mom like sing care packages. And it was just like Oreos and Doritos and things that I really didn't need, but I wanted. Ginger ale didn't taste the same. It was like way more gingery and less ale, so I was like, okay, that's different. But I liked a lot of the food because it was fresh. Mm-hmm. It tasted a lot fresher than what I was getting where I was in Maryland.
Oh, absolutely.
And there wasn't a lot of like preservatives and stuff in it, so that was great.
Did you ever try Vegemite?
I did, and I hated it.
Oh, that's what I hear a lot of people on the internet, like, this is disgusting.
Did not like it at all. Like, the Australians wanted to put me through the ringer. They were like, hey, try the Vegemite, try this fairy bread. I didn't like either of them. Oh. The Vegemite was, like, super salty. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, thanks. I tried it.
She can say that she tried it, though. That's more than a lot of people.
And the fairy bread was, like, bread with butter and sprinkles. But, like, the bread wasn't toasted.
Toasted? Oh.
And so I was like, no, thanks. I tried it again, though, but
it still wasn't. Okay. It wasn't like.
But meat pies.
Okay.
Fantastic.
You're going to have to explain what that is, because I think of, like, Chicago-style pizza.
No. These are, like, if you were to get an apple pie, but it's, like, meat inside of it and a bunch of other toppings and stuff, and they have them that are mini. I kid you not. Every time one of my Australian friends who had a car, I'd be like, can we just go buy and get some meat pies, please? They're like $5, please.
Yeah.
And some of them have mashed potatoes inside of it.
Okay.
They had a bunch of different types, and they were so good.
Interesting.
Loved it.
So, like, shepherd's pie almost?
Kind of.
Okay.
Without all the extra
vegetables and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like, you can get some with that in it, but I was like, this has mashed potatoes, it has meat, it has whatever other topping stuff you want on it, but it was so good.
Interesting. So you talked about the food in Australia. We know that you've moved here to Wilmington. Are there any of the local places that you're finding like, oh my gosh, this is amazing?
You talking about food?
Yes.
Indochine.
Indochin?
I never know how to say it.
Indochin.
I've heard like 14 different ways.
Yeah. Look, it's Indochin, but like you get the real country people and they're like Indochine.
Okay, Indochin. Love it. Love it.
Sorry, my producer's like, I'm the country person that's saying Indochine. That's fine. However you want to say it. That place, yes. So did you sit outside?
I didn't get to.
Okay. Next time you go, you gotta sit in like the tree.
Okay.
Like the little hut style. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you're a local, please comment down below how you say, is it Indoshin? Is it Indoshine? Is it Indoshin E?
Like I've heard like 14,000 different ways and been like, I don't know. But I love that spot.
It is amazing. I do want to kind of change the course because somehow every season I get on the topic of food. I'm a big foodie and like my stomach starts growling. So like, forgive me if you hear that in this episode. But I do want to say one of the fun facts, pause, her brother filled out the form for her. So I had to ask off camera, like, is this him playing a prank or is this actual like concrete evidence? So he one of the fun facts that he wanted you to share apparently is that if you weren't in the family business, you would have been
an archaeologist.
Right? But the caveat is you're
extremely claustrophobic.
That right there is like oxymoronic right there, like to be claustrophobic. And clearly you see she didn't go down that path for obvious reasons, but I thought that was so funny to share. So is there anything else that you kind of was like, oh, well, if it wasn't going to be archaeologist, like if I wasn't in the family business, I would have
probably done something with linguistics.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like a little pivot from archaeology.
Yeah.
I love languages. I love learning about how we got to where they are today. I like learning new languages. Like, fun fact, my mom used to speak Spanish to us a lot growing up. So I was learning Spanish with English. Not great at it now. I can understand it. My speaking is horrible.
Okay.
But I started with that, and then I started learning Korean, and same thing. I can understand it. My speaking is horrible.
Wow.
But I love languages. I love learning about culture. Of course, it ties in with food and history.
Yes.
So it's like my favorite thing.
Wow.
I love like museums and all that good stuff.
So do you have like Rosetta Stone or like Duolingo?
I have not gotten Rosetta Stone, but I have done Duolingo. Yes.
Okay, that's very interesting. I love that you incorporate that and how you said like it does tie into other things. It would be amazing if you did learn how to speak. Imagine the broader
it's
people
like
that
I can
you
get
could
around,
reach.
but I would like my speaking to be better. So I have a friend who's from Korea, and she's
Yeah.
been very like helpful trying to help me with my speaking.
Wow.
So.
Well, if you ever see Aurielle around, just
Start
say
speaking
something to her and see if she like
if I respond.
if she responds or not. One of the last questions I do have for you to wrap up everything that we've kind of talked about in the world of entrepreneurship and branding. What advice would you have to someone that's either A, yours going to be a two-part, that's either A, looking to brand themselves, or B, that's looking to be an entrepreneur?
Okay, for branding, the biggest thing before you ever approach somebody who's going to help you brand is to know what you are and or your business is. If you have a vision for that and a mission for that, we can start somewhere and really help you figure out what that looks and sounds like and how your potential clients or customers will interact with that. But if you don't know what your business is, it's very hard for somebody else to help you package what your business is to other people. So I would say get that down pat. Even if you just start a business plan and have some form of a mission statement, some form of what your goals are, what kind of products or services that you're going to sell. If you start there, then we can kind of take you from there.
Yeah.
And then if you're going to be an entrepreneur, it's not for the faint of heart
Yeah.
at all. There's going to be days that are like the worst days ever where you just want to curl up in a ball and cry because this didn't go right, or you thought you had this project or this business in and it didn't come in, or you thought it was going to be at this price and then it's not, significantly low. There's so many different things that can go on, and then don't even get me started on the government aspect of it. So it's not for the faint of heart, but it's also exceptionally rewarding because to see the things that you're able to build and the people you're able to help, it's super rewarding. So I would say if you're looking to be an entrepreneur, because being your own boss sounds very good, I would make sure you have a plan in place and then understand that you can always scale. So even if you only buy one thing that's going to help your business now, utilize that, get the workflows down, and then slowly scale as you get business in, and then you have to be your own marketer.
Right.
Those two things, if you just like start small and then you market yourself, scaling is going to be easier.
Yeah. That's beautiful advice. And with that, to the people that's out there watching, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, it could either be, every day is every day, especially as entrepreneurs, making sure that you're improving yourself day by day, because she's right. There's going to be some days where you're just be like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. So if you are an entrepreneur and you're looking for help, make sure that you reach out to Heir Media. And I just want to thank Aurielle for coming on the show. I want to thank Elevate Co-working for this beautiful space. Vance with Truth and Image. I'm so sorry. Look, it's the first episode, guys. Just he's the producer. He's going to scratch that out and make that look good. And of course, you for watching this episode. Till next time, make sure you support a local business. I'm Rhema T. Bye. Hey guys, it's me, Rhema T, and I hope at the end of this episode you felt super inspired to shop within your local community. But make sure to tune in next week where I'll have another entrepreneur to talk about their journey, here only on YouTube.